All right, welcome everybody. So today we are going to be talking about self-discipline, okay? And working for your success, not waiting for your success, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quick. And let me go find what I was looking for. Oh, that's in my way. Move. Sorry, this thing is being stupid right now. Let's just do that. Oh, no, I know where I got it at. All right, I gotta go find the video. Hang on, because I didn't have it pulled up. Here we go. Maybe. There it is.
Your work-life balance? It's non-existent. You're never not working. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Listen to me very closely. You keep saying you ain't on the next level because of the economy. You keep saying you ain't on the next level because of race.
Let me pause. Can you guys see this? Okay. Type in the chat box. I want to make sure that you guys can see it. Can you see the video that I'm playing? Okay, let me stop sharing and then reshare for a minute. This one. Okay. I thought it might have messed it up. Okay. Now we can see, correct? The video. All right, let's play that now. Okay, good.
Listen to me very closely. You keep saying you ain't on the next level because of the economy. You keep saying you ain't on the next level because of racism. You keep saying you ain't on the next level because it ain't your season. You keep saying you ain't on the next level because they don't love you. You keep saying you ain't on the next level because the opportunity is there. The truth of the matter is that you ain't there because you ain't there. I could have fixed this years ago, but I didn't know it was a problem. But that's why it's important to do professional development. I spent money to get this after I got my PhD. And there's some of you, you know what you want. You know what you want, but you are not personally willing to do the work it takes to get it. What you're trying to do is do what you've done on this level and get the next level. You're trying to do exactly what you're doing on this level. You're like, I'm getting up every day. I'm putting in 2.5. I'm putting in 3, and I'm not getting the opportunity. The opportunity might require 3.5. I'm lifting weights. I'm eating right, and I'm not getting the opportunity. It might require getting up and working out 3.5. It might require you saying no to your friends. It might require you changing your diet. It might require you moving to another city. Whatever it takes, you got to be willing to do it. And you keep saying you're not there because of something else, because it's easier to blame somebody else. Look, you got some changing to do. If I don't get to no other slide, you got some changing to do. And I'm telling you, the reason why I'm leaving corporate and going to schools, because it's easier to help a doggone middle school kid change than a grown man. My average gonna go up. Dealing with grown men, I talk to 10 grown men, they listen to me very closely. A lot of times when I counsel grown men, first and foremost, they don't want counseling. They want me because I'm anointed to co-sign what they're doing. That's it. They're like, E.T. got a relationship with God. If E.T. says it's cool, then it's cool. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I'd rather do elementary kids than grown men. Elementary kids, they've been broke, but they ain't broke yet. Grown people broke. It's easy to help somebody who is broken at a young age than a 50-year-old, 40-year-old, or 30-year-old. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm telling you to do, since you hate being told what to do, you're going to have to fix yourself since you don't like nobody else telling you what to do. There's something that is blocking your next level, and it's you. And you want to keep saying it's somebody else. People like E.T., I want to do what you do. No, you don't. I'm my own boss. When I worked at Michigan State, I had to be to work at 9 o'clock. When I work for myself, I get up at 3. When I worked at Michigan State, I get to leave at 5. When you work for yourself, you don't have no time when you get off. You don't get off. You stop when the work is done. I work harder for myself than I did and you talk about you want to work for yourself. No, you don't. You can't show up for another man. I'm just being real. There are those of you who work for yourself, you don't even have a plan. You don't even have like a vacation package for yourself. You just get to get off whenever you want to. What kind of job is that? You can just take off when you want to? That ain't no real job. You ain't got no insurance. You ain't paying yourself. But when you had a job, you could get there for them when they wanted you to get there. Oh, you had to tell them when you was gonna be sick when you want, but for yourself, you ain't got to do nothing. That's why you can't blow up. You ain't got enough discipline to discipline you. That's why you're making the money you're making, because you gotta let somebody else do it. Because you don't have enough sense to do it for yourself. You're gonna tell me, E, you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I live in America. You mean to tell me I could be a multimillionaire if I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning? I do it every day. And guess what? When I get my paper, I take a nap when I'm tired. Ain't nobody say I gotta get up at 3 and stay up at 3. I gotta get up at 3 and stay up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I just gotta get up at 3 and get all my work done before y'all get up. I just gotta make all my phone calls while y'all still sleep. I just gotta make all my phone calls while y'all party.
Being an executive woman is not easy. In 2003, I gave up my lipstick and pinstripe suit.
I came down to get on the treadmill this morning at 1:58 a.m. I finished working out. I think it was about 3:15. I got on the elevator, I'm talking about solo. It was just me and my man who was cleaning up. There wasn't nobody there. I get on the elevator. I'm going up the elevator. It stopped on the lobby level. I'm like, shoot. I was just trying to be real, y'all. I ain't trying to be seen at 3 a.m. When nobody, E.T., what up? I have been seeing your video and I wanted to know about, I'm like, it's 3. It's 3. Come holler at me at 8. Like, that's when I go into E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. I'm just Eric at 3 o'clock in the morning. You see what I'm saying? So when they hit lobby, I was like, man, here comes somebody about to ask me a ton of questions. I'm trying to take a shower. I stink. I'm really not in E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher mode. Boom. Lobby level. I see a young lady. She probably in her 20s. She looking at the elevator. I'm like, okay, you getting on or you not getting on? I was like, man, I hope I don't get shot. You know what I'm saying? I'm just from the city. I'm like, okay, ain't no telling. My cousins all got guns in their bags in Detroit. I'm like, I'm in the elevator alone. Man, I should have got up earlier. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to bed from working out. She going to bed from being drunk. I felt so bad for little mama. I'm like, yo, you don't even know where you are. You don't even know who I am. You don't even know you on the elevator with me. You don't know who I am. You don't know what my MO is. You so drunk, though, that you ain't even you so stupid, you ain't even drunk with somebody. You drunk by yourself as a female in Miami. You on the elevator, you don't know where you are. You don't even know. My homegirl, I was about to be like, yo, which room you going? Not Didi, can she come to our room because she don't even know which room she in. And I'm talking about the elevator smelled like wrench, like alcohol. She hit the button, get off. I'm like, God, please help that girl to get to her room with nothing to happen to her. We two humans. We both live in America. One of us getting up at 1 to grind and going to take a shower at 3 to get the day started. One of us just coming from the club and don't know where we are. E, you saying don't go to clubs? Yeah, go to a club, but don't go to a club and you don't know you went to the club. Then why did you go if you can't remember what you did? You might as well not go. Me and you had the same fun. I ain't go, you went, but we both don't remember nothing about the club. Like, that don't even make sense. Or at least have enough sense to roll with somebody who don't. I'm just saying, when we was coming up on the block, Bob, all of us, we came up. I was the dude. Somebody gonna drive us home. We ain't just hanging out drunk and get drunk.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right there. So I love the first part of that video, because he's sitting there talking about discipline, right? Talking about being disciplined enough to work for what you want and not sit around and wait for what you want. Okay. And that is something that I hear in this business too many times, right? I hear people sitting back talking about how this don't work or that don't work, or, you know, I'm not successful in this. There's something wrong with the system, or there's something wrong with people or whatever, right? When the truth is that you are not putting in the work to make it successful. Okay. And I can tell you guys, like, I started doing presentations recently. And when I did, I get at the very end of it is a Q&A session. And I will always have people ask the question, you know, what's the average of people who are successful in this business, right? They want to know up front, like, what's the probability that I can be successful? And my answer to them is always the same. And it says, well, that's dependent on you, right? That depends on you. Are you going to come into this and say, well, I might be successful, but I might not, I might fail, and we'll just take it and see how it goes, right? We'll figure out, you know, what the universe decides about my business. Or are you going to be someone who comes in and says, you know what, I don't care how hard it gets. I don't care how tough it gets. I'm going to be successful no matter what, right? I'm going to make it be successful, and failure is not an option, right? That's not even on my mind, right? Because that is not an option for me to even do. It's not okay for me to fail. It's not okay, you know, for me to give up, whatever it may be. And I absolutely love ET, and I say it every time I play one of his videos, but I absolutely love him. He gets me hyped, right? Like, I love that he's like basically yelling at you, right? Because I played sports growing up, so we would have coaches like that, right? So it kind of takes me back to those days. But I love him because he doesn't sugarcoat it, right? He doesn't sugarcoat the truth and make it, you know, all soft and pretty and pink and, you know, this little cuddly thing. He lays it out because that's what we need, right? This world is not going to handhold us to be successful. This world is not going to make it easy. We have to get up. We have to grind. We have to have that grit, right? That says, I'm going to be successful regardless of what gets thrown at me, regardless of the support that I have or don't have, right? I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to make it successful. The biggest thing with being successful is discipline, guys. That's the biggest thing. If you can be disciplined, then you can be successful. And ET talks about it in a ton of his videos. He has a routine, right? And there was another one that I was watching that he said, you know, he gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes, most of the time, gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And he said, don't think that I'm not tempted to go right back to bed. He said, because when I get up, my mind, as soon as I put my feet on the floor, my mind is telling me, go back to bed, man, you're tired, right? You're tired, just lay back down. It's okay. You're already number one, right? You're already the number one motivational speaker. So it's okay. You made it, right? So you can lay back down and go back to bed. It's all right. You're tired. And he said every morning, or almost every morning, he has to talk himself through that to say, no, I'm number one because I didn't go back to bed, right? Because I didn't listen to that side of me that had all the excuses. Right? Guys, I can tell you right now, and if you have a piece of paper in front of you, I want you to write this down. I want you to write down your top 5, top 3, somewhere around in there, top 3 to 5 excuses that you tell yourself so that you don't have to put the work in, because we all do it. Every last one of us, right? Even me as a double gold, I have excuses that hold me back, right? Man, I'm tired. That's a big one, right? Y'all, I got 2 kids that have more energy than Energizer Bunny. All right. These kids be wearing me out. But I've got too big of goals to quit, right? Or to slow down. And that doesn't mean that I don't want to, right? There's plenty of days that I'm like, oh man, I just don't even want to worry about team building today, or I don't want to worry about promoting my business today. Like I just want to have an off day or whatever, right? But I push through those excuses because I know what my goals are and I know why I'm in this business. I know why I chose something different other than going to a corporate job where I can just show up at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning and leave at 5 o'clock at night, and I can make a guaranteed paycheck, right? I can go to work for someone else like he talked about and just show up for that time. I've done that, right? The problem with that is that it stifles us, right? We don't grow in that. We don't get to live a life that we want to live, right? We are tied to a clock, right? We got to clock in and clock out at a certain time on certain days, right? I can only take vacation when somebody tells me that it's okay for me to take vacation, right? So we choose this other path where we are our own boss, but guys, when we're our own boss, that takes more effort, right? We are the sole worker to make this successful. It's just us. So this is where like ET is very inspirational to me. I absolutely love him because he talks about those things and he doesn't sugarcoat it, because we need that realness, right? We need that. I'm going to share my screen because I want to talk about a few different things. Let me find, it's this one. So I want to talk about a few different things with self-discipline. Okay. And you guys can see right here. Okay. Self-discipline is the ability to do what you should be doing. Okay. Often means putting off your immediate comfort or wishes in favor of long-term success. So guys, it gives an example of, if you want to be physically fit, you might endure a short-term discomfort of 5 a.m. gym times, right? To obtain that long-term benefit of being healthy and feeling great. For us in our business, right? That may mean that I enjoy, or that I, have to endure this short discomfort of getting outside my comfort zone, right? Because all of us like to sit in that comfort zone. And I like to think of it of like a box, right? Like we have this box and that's our comfort zone. That's what we're comfortable with. And please don't make me get outside that comfort zone. But the problem with sitting in that comfort zone is that we don't grow there. We stay the same. We don't grow within that comfort zone. The only time that you can grow is when you step outside of that and you try something new, okay? And you have to learn how to make that work. That's what we all did when we signed up to become a travel agent here, is we stepped outside that comfort zone to say, you know what? I'm going to try something new. I'm not going to be stuck in this box, right? Nobody's going to put me in this box, and I'm not going to put myself in this box. So for us, this could be, on those days when I'm tired, man, when I don't want to talk to a million people, right? I still get up and I still post job ads, or I still get up and I look up a mock booking and I post it and I share it into groups. Or maybe I get up and I go to Walmart and I take my business cards and I go and walk around the luggage section and I put them in luggage, or in the pillows, or in duffel bags, or in the books, right? Maybe I get out of my comfort zone and I do a vendor booth, and I'm in a booth where people are walking by and I'm having to talk to them, right? Guys, it's easier. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's easier to sit behind our computer screen and just do mock bookings and post them on social media. And while that's great, right? That's a fantastic way to market. That's still inside our comfort zone, because we don't have to talk to anybody, right? We get to sit behind this computer screen and we get to just put something out there and it's done, right? Oh, good. It's out there and people are seeing it. I don't have to do anything else unless they reach out to me. But guys, you can't sit here and say, I'm not getting clients if that's the only thing you're doing. we like to say, and I don't know who started it, but I do love it. We like to say, don't be a secret agent. And what that means, what that means is, don't live life and not tell people that you're a travel agent. When you go out and you are, striking up a conversation with people, let them know, right? Wear a t-shirt that talks about being a travel agent or that has your business on it or whatever. Tell them, right? Take your business cards places. There's even, what's it called? Popple or something. I don't remember. I've seen it on Facebook, I think, but it's like a bracelet kind of thing. And you can actually someone can take their phone and they can scan this little part of the bracelet and it will bring up all your business card. Like it's like a digital one. It'll bring up your business card or your Facebook page, business page. You can set it to bring up whatever, right? Your website maybe, but you can even have that on and just walk around. You don't even have to pass out business cards, right? You can just be like, oh, hey, scan my bracelet and here you go. Now you got all the information. Right? So getting outside of that comfort zone, Taya, I see that you said your comfort zone is not posting anything. And for some people it is, right? For some people, social media is outside their comfort zone, and that's okay. That, like, if you're getting outside your comfort zone by doing social media, then good. Right? Like, for a lot of people, social media is the easier way because they don't have to talk to people or they don't have to do anything else, right? But for you, if it is out of your comfort zone, then good for you and keep doing it, right? Because you're pushing yourself farther and farther and farther by doing that, okay? Now, some benefits, guys, okay? Some benefits of self-discipline are that it can help you achieve your long-term goals, right? It allows you to resist immediate wants in support of higher impact long-term goals. Guys, sometimes we have to, I don't want to say suffer, but we have to deal with, I guess, suffer in the short term, right? Go without, I'll use that. Sometimes we have to go without in the short term to be able to achieve those long-term goals, right? The financial guy, what's his, Ramsey, right? He talks about in his financial planning and the class that he does and all this kind of stuff. He talks about living like nobody else at first, right? Living like nobody else so that you can live like nobody does. And what he means is taking away everything that is not, or maybe not everything, but taking away most things that are not a necessity, right? Maybe you don't go out to eat every single night or every single week, right? You cut back on that. You cut back on, doing these other things that are extra, right? Just kind of a waste of money. Maybe you cut back on some subscriptions or whatever, right? He talks about living like nobody else does right at the first of cutting back. And his whole thing is that you're taking that extra money now that you're not wasting and paying off debt and setting up your future so that you can live in a broad, awesome way like nobody else does. And it's taking that discipline to say, okay, in the short term, I'm going to give up a few things because what it's going to give me in the long term is way better, right? It's way better. The other thing that it can do is decrease anxiety. When we're stressed, we each have our vices, right? When we experience negative emotions, humans tend to distract themselves by doing or thinking about something else. Guys, how many of you, when you get stressed, you kind of check out, you kind of escape by watching TV, right? Maybe you binge watch a whole season of some show. Ashley said she's a procrastinator, right? Ashley, I got a little bit of that in me too. Y'all listen, Taya, I have the urge to clean all of a sudden. Y'all listen, my kids stayed the night with my parents Friday night, right? And so yesterday I had a presentation, and then after that I was like, I have no kids in here. I've got to get this house clean. I have needed to clean my house for a little while now, but I had that procrastination because I felt so overwhelmed by everything that needed to be done that I was like, I'm just not going to do any of it. Right? Like I couldn't even make myself sit down and do something. So yesterday when I didn't have any kids here and I had already been up and like was moving around and stuff, I hadn't, didn't watch TV or anything. I was like, let me just start with one thing. I'm gonna start with the laundry because that needed to get done too, right? We got to have clothes to wear. So I started with the laundry, and while I'm folding clothes, then it was like, well, let me pick this up and let me just clean up the laundry room, right? I'm going to organize it a little bit. And then that spread into the kitchen, right? Okay, this kitchen's crazy. Let me get this cleaned up. And before I knew it, I had 3/4 of my house clean, right? Now I ran out of time because I had to go get my kids. So I've still got 2 bathrooms and my bedroom to do, but I felt so much better after I got 3/4 of the house clean because it wasn't overwhelming anymore. And I'm like, oh man, I've got almost everything done, right? 2 bathrooms and a bedroom, like that's nothing. And yeah, once you do that first step, right, the others follow. And that's what I found yesterday was like, I don't have to focus on, oh my gosh, the whole house needs to be cleaned. I was focusing on, let me start with just the laundry, right? And the laundry room. And then, oh, well, I'm right here by the kitchen and I could pick up a few things, right? And it just spread. I was already, now I'm in cleaning mode, right? And organizing mode and that kind of thing. So when we allow things to get, overwhelming like that and our anxiety gets going, we tend to let them go, right? We tend to have more excuses, right? It also increases physical health. This is likely pretty obvious, but people who demonstrate regular self-discipline are better able to resist the use of health damaging substances like tobacco and alcohol. Self-control is also linked to lower rates of obesity and addiction, right? We kind of understand, like, if you have good discipline, you're probably pretty disciplined in not putting drugs and alcohol in your body and eating healthy and different things like that, or exercising, right? Whatever. It positively impacts relationships. So self-discipline can also make your relationships better. Psychology Today says the capacity for self-control is a capacity for empathetic perspective taking, the ability to step outside one's own point of view. Taking these steps allows us to override our automatic defense reactions and adopt more constructive behaviors, contributing to healthier, happier relationships, right? Positively impacting relationships. Who would have even thought self-discipline could do that, right? You become more resilient. And I think this one is probably pretty obvious in my mind, simply because like if you're more disciplined in what you're doing, like you build up that resilience, right? Because you're gonna face setbacks. Like that's just life, right? Life happens, crap happens. And Ashley takes notes for husband. I like it. So you're going to build up that resiliency, right, in being disciplined, because discipline says no matter what that hurdle is, I'm still going to get up. I'm still going to do what needs to be done. I'm still going to, work to overcome this and work towards my goals. That is resiliency right there, right? Getting up and doing what needs to be done, even when you don't want to, or even when it's really hard, right? We feel happier the more productive you are, the more creative and happy you are, the more we feel in control of the origin of our behavior, the better sense of well-being we have, and that makes us happy. Guys, I don't know about you, but I have had points in my life where my life felt very chaotic, right? I felt very out of control of everything, including myself, right? And I can tell you that when I became more disciplined in certain areas, it helped me to feel a little more control over my life, even if it was just more control over me, right? Because we can't control other people and we can't control the world, right? The universe in general. We can't control what is going to happen in any given day. But if I can control myself and my words and my actions and my, all of that stuff in my attitude, if I can control that, then that's something, right? And honestly, when we can control ourselves and we can have this discipline and resiliency to keep pushing forward, no matter what life throws at us, if we can have that, then we can control a lot more than we think, right? We can make a better outcome come about because we're not giving into it. We're not giving up. Now, if you're like me, and guys, trust me, I am not the most self-disciplined person in the world. Okay. I have a long ways to go, very long ways. But I do have some areas where I am more disciplined than others. Okay. But if you're like me, you want to know how to build self-discipline, right? How to do this. So here's a few different tools, right? Know where you struggle. What is your biggest struggle? What area is your biggest struggle? I can tell you guys, for me, my biggest struggle in self-discipline has to do with physical health. I don't like to work out. I don't always eat the best. Right now I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper, which I should not be drinking, right? I have tried to quit drinking Dr. Pepper. I don't know how many times. So that's where I struggle, right? Yeah, Ashley, absolutely. Winter, right? I love Dr. Pepper, right? But it don't love me back. But know where you struggle. And it's okay to admit that you struggle in those areas, right? If we try to fool ourselves and say like, oh no, I got that under control, when we don't, we're just lying to ourselves, right? And like, we don't put as much time and effort into it as we should. Know how to succeed, how you succeed. What helps you when you are struggling? What are some tools, right? My son has autism, right? And he has some meltdowns, y'all, meltdowns. Now I can tell him, in the middle of a meltdown, okay, honey, just breathe, right? Let's do 10 deep breaths, right? And like, let it help him calm down or whatever. But that doesn't work for him. That might work for me, right? That might work for me whenever I'm feeling amped up or I'm feeling, frustrated. I can take some deep breaths and like, get myself calmed down, but that don't work for him. That's not how he succeeds at overcoming that situation, right? We're all going to be different. So you have to know how you succeed. What helps you? What mentality do you need to have about the areas that you struggle in order to overcome them and succeed in a way that'll work for you, right? If somebody told me, Ashley, in order to be thin, you got to go work out 5 hours a day, every single day, and don't take a day off. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that, right? That's not how I would succeed. Yeah, Ashley, no thanks, right? That's a hard pass, right? I'm not trying to do all that. That's not how I would succeed. Now, if you tell me, hey, here's a 10-minute workout that you could do every day at home, or if you get out and you walk at night, right? You give me something like that I can start small and build on, then yeah, that's going to be how I succeed, right? Identify and write down clear goals. So guys, for a few weeks before this, we have gone over SMART goals. And if you were not here for any of those trainings, please look up and just Google SMART goals, right? There is a very good way to write out your goals. And because so many people want to put a goal and they just want to say, oh, I want to make $1 million. Well, how the heck are you even going to do that, right? I want to be rich. Well, that's subjective, right? What does that even mean? Because what I would say is rich might be different than what Winner would say is rich, would probably be different than what Ashley said is rich, right? So that's where like you use the SMART goal model to make those goals specific, right? Actually achievable, attainable, those kind of things. Visualize your outcome. This is also something we've gone over in the previous weeks of training, is visualization and the power of visualization. Guys, your brain cannot tell the difference, okay, if you were to sit there and visualize something, and by visualization, you can go back and watch my other trainings on it. But by visualization, I mean, you are sitting there and you are literally seeing it moment for moment in your head, and you are engaging as many senses as possible, right? You're seeing it, you're hearing it, you're smelling it, you're whatever, right? The point of visualization is to engage as many of the five senses as possible to make it as realistic as possible. Okay. When you visualize like that, right? When you engage that many senses and everything, your brain cannot tell the difference in just a visualization of what you hope to happen versus an actual memory of something that has already happened. Your brain can't tell the difference. Okay, as smart and as complex as our brains are, it can't tell the difference when we engage the mind and the senses like that. It now believes that happened. And what it does is the brain now makes the body and your thoughts and your movements and things like that go in that direction, right? Go look up the power of visualization if you haven't been on my previous trainings, because it is massive, right? It is crazy how powerful it is. Visualize your outcomes. Don't wait for it to feel right. Guys, I am the world's worst about needing motivation in order to be disciplined, and they don't go hand in hand. Discipline has to come in those moments when motivation is lacking, when you have zero motivation. Discipline has to come in to say, I'm going to get up anyway, even when I don't want to. I'm going to go work anyway, even when I just don't care today, or I don't want to today. Okay. Don't wait on motivation to help you be disciplined. Discipline is what you have to do when there is no motivation. Start small. Guys, I can't sit here and say, oh, I'm going to stop drinking Dr. Pepper. I'm never going to eat a sweet again. I'm never going to have ice cream. I'm never going to eat pizza or blah, blah, blah. That's just not even realistic, right? Start small, right? Maybe I could start with, oh, you know what? Let me cut out one Dr. Pepper a day, or, whatever. I mean, just an example. Maybe you need to start small in this business to say, all right, I'm going to work on building my clients, right? Getting bookings. So I'm going to start small, and I'm going to do 3 mock bookings a week, 4 mock bookings a week, right? Start small, but help create that habit of doing that. And then we can build on it from there, right? If you're trying to team build, maybe I'm going to do one job posting a day, or one job posting every other day, right? And give myself time to talk to everybody who posted, get all of them scheduled, and maybe even get them through the presentation before I do another one, right? Start small and don't overwhelm yourself. Get a mentor. Now, guys, everybody on this call has a mentor, but your mentor may be like my mentor and not there, right? I mean, I see my mentor post every now and then in the chats, but we don't talk. Get a mentor that you can call or text or talk to. Get somebody that is going to invest in you just like you invest in you, right? If I am your mentor, I am always willing to do that. I am always happy to have my agents that reach out to me to say, hey, listen, I'm struggling, or hey, I need to know how to do this or that, or hey, I got a question, right? I love when my agents reach out, because I love to pour into my agents, but I'm not going to work harder than my agents are for their success, right? So get a mentor, get an accountability partner if that's what you want to, right? Don't just rely on one person. Get an accountability partner to where the two of you hold each other accountable. Practice, fail, and start over, right? Guys, just because we fail once doesn't mean that we are a failure. And it doesn't mean that we're going to fail at this forever. And I don't even really like the word fail. I like to say setback, right? Just because we have a setback does not mean that we have to stay stuck there. Doesn't mean that we have to stay stuck there. Guys, the biggest thing that I can say is when you have a setback or when you fail momentarily, I really hate that word. When you momentarily fail, the biggest thing that you can do is get up and try again. Now, you don't have to try it the exact same way, right? Maybe that way didn't work for a reason. Maybe we need to try a new way, right? We don't need to keep running into the same brick wall and beating our head against the same brick wall. We can just find a new way, right? We don't have to run through the wall. We can go around it. We can go over it, right? Heck, we can dig a ditch and go under it if we have to. Okay. Know how you'll measure progress. Guys, this is the biggest thing because part of SMART goals are that they're measurable, right? I want to be successful. That's not measurable. What does that even mean? Kind of like I want to be rich, right? What does that even mean to you? Have a goal in mind. I can tell you guys, the goal I'm working on right now is I want to be platinum, right? That's my goal. So that is measurable. I can literally log into my back office right now and tell you how many people I have on my team and how many people I have left to go until I hit platinum, right? That is measurable. If I just say, I want to be, I want to be a great leader, or I want to, I need something measurable. Like, what does that mean? Put a time on it too, right? That's part of a SMART goal, is that you have a time on it. And I have for a few months now, probably since the first of the year, actually, I've had a goal of being platinum by the end of this month, July 31st or 30th, whatever we're in, 31st. Yeah. July 31st has been my goal for a while now to hit platinum, and I'm working my butt off towards it, right? Here's the thing though, if I have a setback and I don't hit my goal by July 31st, that's okay. I just put a new time on it, right? If I don't hit it, all right, let me go to August 15th or maybe August 30th, right? Whatever. Take care of yourself. Guys, when you work for yourself, it's very easy to run yourself in the ground. I like to say work smarter, not harder. But it does take hard work, right? But you don't have to run yourself into the ground if you're doing the right things. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, guys, when you come into this business, because we have senior agents that are successful that can teach you, right? We have agents that can teach you what they already had to figure out for themselves. Jody Wariski is one. That woman is a beast when it comes to booking. She's a beast when it comes to anything in this business, but when it comes to booking, she's a beast. Go ask her how she did it and she'll tell you. She figured it out, right? And when she couldn't figure it out, she got on some trainings and she asked questions. She'll tell you that every time. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel coming into this, right? We've already figured out different ways, not just social media, but different ways to be successful in this business, and we share them freely. All you have to do is show up and put it into action. But that takes discipline. I like this. Treat yourself, right? And forgive yourself. Here's the thing, guys, when you work for yourself, sometimes it can get really hard, right? A lot of times it can, and you can feel defeated sometimes. Treat yourself, right? ET on some of his videos on there, he talks about, like, he would have this rule, kind of, he doesn't really call it a rule, but he would tell himself, like, no, you can't watch TV until you get this completed, right? Whatever work he needed to get done. But when he got that work done, he allowed himself to watch TV and treat himself in that way, right? But if he didn't get it done, it was a punishment to not watch TV, right? Find how to treat yourself without messing up your discipline. Because he said, even in that video, he says, a lot of you guys are letting yourself watch TV when you didn't get your work done, right? treating yourself is a good thing unless you are undisciplined in that and you're not, only doing it as like, oh, here, I only get to do this if I get this done, right? Forgive yourself. I just saw where Winter put that she's learning if she doesn't hit her goal, not to beat herself up, right? And don't give up. Guys, it's okay. The reason we put a timeline on a goal is so that we have a sense of urgency in completing it. Because if we don't put a timeline, then it's very easy to be like, I don't want to today. Like, I'll do it next week. There's no big rush, right? Guys, I could have said, oh, I want to hit platinum by, the end of September. And that would have been really easy. That would have been just fine. I could have taken days off. Wouldn't have been a big deal, right? I could have done it easily. But I didn't choose September. I chose July 31st long ago because I wanted to push myself. I didn't want to give myself too much time to where I would have an excuse for not working, right? I'm gonna stop sharing that. So that's where we have to say, like, okay, let's put a time frame on it and let's bump it up a little bit, right? To challenge ourselves, and to try and say, okay, I'm going to shoot for that. But if we don't hit it, that's okay. My original goal, guys, in hitting gold was December 31st of 2021. I didn't hit it by then. December 31st came along and I was like, oh crap. I'm not quite there. I was close, but I wasn't quite there. So I just said, all right, you know what? I'm gonna give myself one more month, January 31st, I'm hitting it, right? And I did. I actually hit it, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks before that, right? I just needed a little extra time because my original goal and time that I had pushed myself on, right? I had made it to where I was gonna push it. I didn't quite meet it, but it didn't mean that I needed to just throw away everything that I had done, right? I just needed a little bit extra time. And that's okay. I'll tell you guys right now, because I see it in the chats all the time. And I'll look at you guys right now. I can see who all's on here, right? And what's crazy is pretty much all of you, except with the exception of Winter, pretty much all of you are new agents. I mean, I would say a month. I don't know how long everybody else has been here. I don't know everybody on here, but the ones that I do have been here a month or less, minus me and Winter. And guys, I'll tell you right now, the fact that you guys are new and that you're on here says a lot, because we've got agents that have been doing this for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years, and they're still in the chats wanting to complain that they're not successful, or that they're not getting clients, or that they're not team building like they want to. They're not at the goal they want to be at, but they ain't here. They're not on the trainings, right? They're not showing up. They show up in the chat to complain, right? Or they want to complain to their mentor or their mentor's mentor, whoever. They want to complain to somebody that's going to listen, but they're not showing up for their business, right? Guys, I am so happy that you new agents are here, because I want you to get in from the get-go and have this mentality. Your mentality is going to determine your success more than your actions do. And the reason for that is because our mentality is what pushes us through those hard moments, right? I shared on the last one, I think it was the last one that was 2 weeks ago, that they did a study, and it was of basketball, right? This one group went and shot free throws for 20 minutes every single day. Another group just visualized shooting free throws and making them, okay, for that same amount of time every day. And then another group didn't do anything. They didn't practice, they didn't visualize, they didn't do anything, right? The people who visualized alone, they didn't practice, they visualized, had about the same accuracy and improvement as those people who went and practiced for 20 minutes a day. Mentality is going to get you just as far, if not farther, than those physical actions that you're doing, because it's in the tough moments. It's when, somebody, we send a quote and they ghost us, or when we're in, team building and we have a bunch of people quit in a month, or we're not having many people sign up in a month. It's in those hard moments that we have to rely on our discipline and our mentality to get us through it, right? We have to rely on that. Guys, I had that month in May. And there was plenty of times where I text Christina and I was like, I hate this month. I hate it. It sucked. It was just very trying for me. And like the universe was just coming at me of like trying to break me down, right? In my business. And I just remember texting Christina multiple times and I was like, listen, I just have to vent and get it off my chest so that I can get this negative thinking out of my head, right? I just need to vent and get it off. But I would tell her every single time, I hate this month. It's really hard, but it's not going to break me. Guys, my physical actions were not going to get me through that. I had to have that mentality and that discipline to say, you know what, even on this hard day, I'm going to get up and I'm still going to do what I need to do. And I'm not going to let these people quitting or anything break me from my goals. I'm not going to give up on what I'm trying to achieve. So guys, I thank you so much for being here. Please take what you learned today, write out some of your biggest excuses. And then I want you guys to go in and write out something you can do, an action you can take to combat that excuse. Okay. When I'm tired, what am I going to do? Right? What action am I going to take? Even write out something that you could tell yourself, an affirmation or some kind of sentence, right? Something that you can tell yourself to get that discipline. And you have to know what is going to make you succeed, because I can't tell you what's going to work for you. It may not be the same thing that works for me, right? For me, though, I can tell you in my hard moments, I have to remind myself, why did I start this? Why do I need to achieve platinum? Why do I need to achieve 1 star? Why do I need to be an IATN card holder? Why do I need to earn a certain amount in commissions every month? Right? Whatever that goal is, remind yourself why you have that goal, because that is going to get you through those hard times more than anything. And I've heard it said a million times, if your why doesn't make you cry, then it's not a big enough why. Right? If it doesn't touch your soul, right, enough that it makes you emotional, then it's not important enough to you to be your why that pushes you forward. So find that why that is going to push you in the moments where you feel like you're in the trenches, digging a 6-foot hole with a spoon, right? Those moments where it feels that hard. What is your why that is going to help pull you out of that? Help keep you going so that you don't give up. Guys, thank you for being here. I truly appreciate it. I honestly, if you guys ever need anything, please feel free to reach out. Like I said, I'm always happy to help people, and always happy to, be a soundboard or that mentor type of where, if you need something to talk about, right? You're struggling or whatever, we'll figure it out, right? We'll brainstorm, we'll figure out what you need to do. I'm always happy to help people in the chats. And I especially love helping people that want the help, right? They want to reach out and be successful and not have those excuses. So I am always happy to do that, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Are we twinning today, Ashley? Yeah. Oh, shut up. We are twinning. That is adorable. We are adorable, right? I love it. We are twinning. You guys are very welcome. Very welcome. His name, his name is Eric Thomas. Thank you, Katrina. I appreciate that. His name is Eric Thomas, and what do they call him? The hip hop preacher or something like that. But he's absolutely amazing, and he has stuff on YouTube everywhere and about a million different things, right? Like, I mean, he's got some of the most awesome videos, and I love listening to him. He just gets you fired up, right? Yeah, go look him up because he is absolutely amazing. Thank you guys for being here. I will see you in the chats and hopefully see you next week when we do the next one. So everybody have a good rest of your day. Bye.